Hello, 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 everybody. It's great to see all of your faces. Very funny. My overlay is a little messed up, so I'm going to be correcting that right now as we get right into intros. So, hi, everyone. Don't mind the gross overlay right now. I'm going to fix it right now, including the title of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us for our Halloween 12-hour charity stream kickoff. My name is Connie. My pronouns are they, he, and she. I am the GM and executive producer behind Transplanar RPG. I am interested in horror. Yes?
Wrong section. There's one down there for...
Oh, whoops. We have a little script here. You can peek behind the scenes. It's an exclusive Patreon reward that all of our viewers for our Halloween stream now get to see. But yeah, I'm going to scroll down to the part of the script where it says, do this to introduce right before the campaign. So just scratch that, erase that, Men in Black 2. From your memory.
Where am I?
Where are we? What's going on? Why is the title of the episode title here? Hello everybody, welcome back. We are about to dive into what is possibly the scariest session yet of our main campaign. But before we start, we have just a couple of announcements. If you're just joining us, we're currently in the middle of our 12-hour Halloween party, and we are raising money for Tigers with 2 R's, a Minneapolis-based organization that benefits trans, intersex, and gender-expansive youth. We are currently at $150 of our $500 goal, so please keep the donations coming. You can use !donate in the chat at any point to help us reach that goal. So I'm going to pass it on to C.
Hey y'all, my name's C. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a digital artist, dancer, and jack of many hats. You can find me on Twitter at PieSharpArt, or on Tumblr at Pie-Sharp. I'm playing and dressed as today a closet cosplay of Øka, our Aasimar Blood Hunter. And with that, I'm going to pass it right down to Max.
Hello, I'm Max. I also go by they, them pronouns. I play Dewey Quirk, the Aarakocra Ranger, and I have these giant ridiculous which is why I won't be moving my arms. What else did I say? You can find me at Starchmonger on Instagram and Erica. What's up?
Hi everybody, I'm Erica, and I'm dressed as V. Noxurzo, that lovable charlatan elf sorceress. You can find me on all the social media platforms at Erica New Girl, including here on Twitch, where I stream a lot of horror games and you can scare the crap out of me. It's a good time. I highly suggest you scare the crap out of me. Please do it. And with that, I pass to Devin.
Hello everyone, my name is Devin. I use they, them pronouns. I'm dressed as Manaia and Øka. I've got the cloak and everything and the hair. And some fingerless gloves, which are uneven because I literally just cut them with these scissors. I don't have any internet presence. I don't have any internet presence, but you can find me on our Discord, which I'm sure Bricata will throw in the chat using the command !Discord. I'm looking at the chat. Is it coming? Is he gonna do it? Is it coming?
There is a good 6 to 7.
There's a good delay. All right, I'll watch for it. But join a Discord. I'm very active there. We're all very there. It is. Except
Thank you, Bangle.
Only mods can do it. Join our Discord. It's a very fun place.
Bricata got it.
Oh, Bricata got it. Okay. Thanks, Bricata. It's a very fun place. I'm very active there. Come look at some beautiful art. Chat about whatever you want, including the campaign, not the campaign, yourselves, the campaign, art, memes, food, all sorts of fun stuff. Also the campaign. I mentioned that. It's a good time. I'll pass it back to Connie.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for all of that. We have a lot of content warnings for this episode in particular, but before we get to that, Max, would you like to give a quick little recap about what happened last session?
Sure.
Connie can't read documents. I'm actually just gonna, real quick, coming up after the campaign, I'm just gonna follow our little thing here. Devin keeps highlighting it for me. I appreciate it. But coming up after the campaign, we are going to be re-airing the premiere episode of Unravel, the horror podcast that Connie has been working tirelessly on since literally last night. I finished it last night. I'm blowing up your spot. And we'll be doing a Q&A / a live listen immediately afterwards where you can ask questions about the podcast. So even if you watched it earlier today at noon 30, stick around again, listen to it again. We're going to be live listening and like, oh God, oh no. We're just going to be really, really great. After that, Ben from Tigers is going to be rejoining us and doing some spooky video gaming with us, so woohoo! After that, Connie and Devin will have a jam session, poetry, musics, and that will bring us into sleepover hours, which is going to be from 9 to 11. I'm going to tattoo myself. You have a few more hours to make your vote heard on what I'm going to permanently put on my body. And then at 11 o'clock, we are moving to Discord for our Halloween rave. We would love to see you there. Max, you want to recap what happened last time?
Yeah, let me talk about what happened. As a reminder, you can find a written recap of every episode, and also our whole campaigns as so far by using !recap in the chat. My ear! Or visiting bit.ly/transrecap. So here's what happened last session. Dewey, Øka, Manaia, and V split up. Øka and Manaia to find an underground monster fighting ring where they make an impromptu decision to sign up to fight a face-stealing monstrosity. V to investigate the cult-like Children of the Chrysalis, where she magics her way out of a contract and picks a locked door to find monsters consuming human flesh. And Dewey to convince a helpful shopkeeper to take a look at his sentient sword. A shopkeeper who gets him into the locked back room and reveals themselves to be the assassin hunting him down. Whoops. That's it.
Whoops.
Whoops, that's it. Great. And Devin, would you like to talk about the title of this episode?
Yeah, I can do that. Really quick before I do, though. So up until now in this stream, we've been more vocal about talking about things like raids and subs. Thanks for the Tristan for the sub, etc. Like we do every session, and now every Saturday, in order to keep the gameplay pace going, for the next 2-ish hours while we're playing, 2.5-ish hours when we're playing, we won't be able to say those out loud, but we will be thanking you with our hearts and potentially with our hands, and also in the chat. So those of you who sub, throw bits, donate, all that kind of good stuff, we love you and we appreciate you, but we want to keep the flow going. That being said, let me try to find where this gosh darn title is. So, we are episode 10. The big 10, double digits. The title of this episode is Bad Dreams of Doom and So Much Love Unspoken. It's from Things Haunt by J. Jennifer Espinoza. And the whole verse reads, California is a desert, and I am a woman inside it. The road ahead bends sideways, and I lurch within myself. I'm full of ugly feelings, awful thoughts, bad dreams of doom, and so much love left unspoken.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Devin. And with that, let's move right into the episode. So some content warnings for this episode may include the following, described in vague terms or very heavily implied: imprisonment, torture, dismemberment, body mutilation, and forced drugging. You can access a content warning at any time using !CW, and we will do our best to flag that in session when we know things like that are going to come up. And we'll try to give a visual, like we'll wave or something when that part is over.
As well as, I'll try to put it in chat, otherwise a mod will catch it.
Yes, a mod will try to catch it and put it in chat that the moment is over. So yeah, we will begin, as always, with a poem I wrote, a gift to my players. Love isn't anything but showing your wrists and waiting for red. It's not the gesture, the inevitable collision of body and blood. It's the waiting. It's the veins on the back of your mother's hands, soft as forgiveness, as she peels shallots her body framed like a monument against the black morning. Remember her like that. Not the witnessing, not the outliving, not the bed in the room too small to hold your grief. How her heart broke and it didn't make a sound. The cliff was never there. You fell anyway. What will you find at the bottom? Dewey! You stand in the middle of a darkened room. Technically, the back room of Amara's arcane armor and ammunition. A regular run-of-the-mill kind of magical goods store, but nothing about this situation that you find yourself in right now is regular. A man stands before you, a familiar man with a dog's head, dressed in clothes so ordinary they would not have stood out if it weren't for the fact that he doesn't have a person's head, but the head of a hound. This man, who had just introduced himself to you as the Myriad, grins, every single tooth flashing white and deadly as he stares you down. There's nothing around you but vast, empty, dark space, and hundreds, it appears, of wooden crates and cardboard boxes that stock this back room. Before he says anything further to you, Dewey, do you say or do anything?
I wait for his move.
Okay, you don't do anything. You don't react. In that case, the Myriad, this man, his smile seems to widen, almost seeming to split his face. How can someone smile so wide? It doesn't make any sense, and yet it's happening. And his next words that he says to you, again, his voice sounds so ordinary. It's odd that they're coming from the mouth, the maw, let's say, this hound. And this man says to you, "It's been a while, Cardew. You thought you got away for a minute there, didn't you? But you didn't. You'll never outrun your destiny. And your destiny is me. Then again, I'm not an unreasonable dog." And the Myriad begins to pace in a wide circle around you. And you see a playing card suddenly appear in his hands, and he seems to be flipping it back and forth between his fingers. Why don't we make a perception check?
That? Oh shit, okay.
Do we remember how to make checks? It's been so
I do.
long.
It was a 24.
A 24. Oh, wow, holy fuck.
Make
okay.
fun of me all you want.
He's twirling a joker. Two different jokers of two different colors, a blue one and a red one. Every time he flips it, it seems to change color. And he says, and then as he's pacing around you, actually, you smell that familiar smell that stalked you in the forests of too long. Burning hair. That's what he smells like. Burning hair. And then he pauses and looks at you like a cat toying with a mouse. Tell me something, Cardew. How do you want to die? I'll give you a choice. Something natural, something primal, or something dead.
Can I ask you some questions first?
You know what? Why not? I'm in an entertaining mood. It's been a couple of weeks since we last encountered each other. Why? How about this? You can ask me 3 questions, and then you have to answer mine. Go for it. And the Myriad sort of settles back and watches you with one glistening ruby eye. What do you ask him?
What's your stake in it? Aren't you a hired sword by the URL?
Yes, I am. Next question.
No, but I asked what your stake.
Those are 2 questions. You asked me if I was a hired sword by the URL, and you asked me what my stake was.
Okay.
My first Answer, yes, I was hired by the URL. Stellar abilities of deduction, Cardew. No wonder they hired you for the hardware department. Anyway, my stake in this, it's amusing. It's fun. You are quite the quarry. Running, running, running. Always on the run. See, I love prey like you. So scared, so cowardly. How will you scream when I tear you apart?
Your question?
No, that wasn't.
That was a
funny.
question.
Okay, that's fair. That was my question. What's your third question then?
I think telepathically to my sword,
Okay.
and I think the word go nuts.
You think donuts? Oh, go nuts.
Go nuts.
Okay.
Go nuts works too.
I kind of forgot that at the end of last session, actually, I had stated that the Myriad had his hand on the sword, but I did state that he was circling you. So let's say he let go of your sword and is circling you. So you have your sword. I'll allow you to have your sword. Don't worry. I'm not going to take your weapon
He
away
did
from
not
you.
sheath his sword in the...
What?
He was just about to put his sword in the sheath.
He was. And let's say he let you have your weapon. Okay, let's say that was a conscious decision, and then he stepped away and is now circling you. So you think go nuts to your sword. Great. Roll initiative. Speaking of which, Øka and Manaia, the two of you stand in the middle of an arena. There are dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of people around this vast, like, football field-sized fighting pit, this monster fighting pit that the two of you find yourselves in, right? There's cheering, there's screaming. All around you, you smell must, you smell dirt, you smell blood, and you smell excitement and bloodthirst. 3 fighters, men, human men, very normal looking, kind of bland looking, with their beards and their swords and their shields, sort of stand very nervously on the outer edge of this monster fighting ring. You and Manaia, Øka, the two of you, also stand on the outer edge of this monster fighting ring as you square off against a creature in the center, a huge creature, actually, 15 feet tall, with a neck, almost like a giraffe's, very, very long, extending from a contorted body, ending in a bald human head, the face contorted in an expression of permanent grief or anguish. Other similar such faces, but visages that belong to different people, also like peek out from its wrinkly, kind of pale, pallid flesh, and 3 sets of legs extend from the torso of this creature's body. Finally, this huge, I don't know, like monster ends in a long, thin, spiked tail with various, like, just thorns coming out of its spine, seeming to drip with this kind of green and black liquid. This is the monster that faces you now. Let me put on some actually good battle music because I feel like we're about to get pumped. We're about to roll some dice, y'all. So the one other person in the arena that seems to stand out to the two of you, as I mentioned at the end of last session, is a drow woman. Large, imposing, intimidating, gray-skinned, similar to you, Øka, but with red, black. And now you see, as she is, like, sort of cracking her neck, golden tattoos as well of raven feathers, just decorating every inch of her exposed kind of muscular arms. And she unfurls this long, wicked black whip at her hip, and you notice that it sort of ends. It has like these spikes, like thorns, that ripple up all the way up the length of this whip. Do the two of you do or say anything before we roll initiative for you two?
I think Øka and Manaia are pretty close to each other.
Okay.
And Øka is gonna kind of just like touch Manaia with their elbow and nod toward the creature's tail.
Okay.
And they go, That is the most dangerous part of that animal. Beast. Watch out for that.
Doesn't look like the front is much better.
Maybe the only advice is just watch out.
I've got your back, you've got mine.
On it.
Great. Wonderful. So roll initiative. Go for it. So next we travel to V. V, you stand alone at the bottom of the stairs in the Chrysalis's headquarters. All around you, the smell of must, of basement, and of course, now, of gore. You see several, maybe 2 or 3 of familiar creatures that we fought back in our pilot episode, but I'll re-describe them right now. They look like kind of featherless chickens, but not as unintimidating. Their heads aren't really heads. It's just sort of like a body that ends in a huge mouth full of sharp, gnawing, gnashing teeth. They're about the size of dogs. Let's say they're about the size of a dog, each of them. And they're bipedal, so they have 2 big muscular legs with these sharp talon-like claws. The 2 or 3 that you see in the darkness, it's a little hard to tell because I believe you cast light on your gem, right? Like a flashlight. You're shining it out toward the bottom of this basement. You see what the remains of a person, people actually, that these 2 or 3 creatures are feasting upon. And as soon as the light falls on them, their big glossy black eyes, like a shark's eyes, they don't have any pupils, just sort of blank primordial stare, turns and fixes onto you, V. What do you do before we roll initiative?
Can I get a sense of the room? Are there any other entrances or exits to it?
Yeah. I will allow you to make a perception check before you roll initiative, if that's what you want to do with your action.
Yes, I would. I would like to know that information.
Okay. Sounds good. Roll perception. And I will give you the information that you have with the light, the radius of light that is accessible to you.
It's 9.
9. Beyond sort of this dim... Do you want to use inspiration?
No. I'll stick with 9.
Okay, y'all have collectively 10 collective inspiration. All of you except C have 3 individual inspiration, and C, you have 2. So total, that's 10 plus 3 plus 3, 16, 19. Y'all have 21 points of inspiration between the 4 of y'all. Stop being so fucking stingy or I'm gonna start using it. That's what I'm gonna say as a GM.
I'd rather save it for when I'm actually trying to hit something.
So when I try to award you inspiration again, you won't be able to get it, is what I'm hearing.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you get a 9.
Yep.
With a 9, you don't see anything beyond what I just described to you. You just sort of see like several like wood, like iron cages. You see what, maybe 2 or 3, but it's dark. Like the dim light doesn't shed beyond what's already there. Sort of like a dark underground area. You see blood, splatters of blood on the ground. You see torn clothing, and you see these like shark-like primal eyes.
Okay.
Okay? That's what you see.
I'm gonna light the room up with, I'm gonna cast some fireball.
Okay, why don't you roll inspiration? I'm sorry, roll initiative to see who goes first. And let's go back to the top of the order. Dewey, what did you get?
Used a point of inspiration, and
Okay.
I got a 19.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. Can I well, it's a simultaneous. I'm
So-
going to have the sword fly around like like when one end is heavy and the wings are on the other, and it's just kind of like propellering,
Yeah. Like
a death.
Sure, like a death helicopter blade, sure.
Right.
Like it did in that room you locked it in.
Just have it go buck wild.
Exactly. And then I'm going to take that opportunity, hoping to distract the Myriad and run into... There's like... I can hide behind some, right?
Yeah, there's like a bunch of boxes everywhere. Some of them are like stacked on top of each other, but there's like some like of varying sizes just scattered all around this like dim back room. Again, this seems almost to be like a pocket dimension. There don't seem to be any walls or ceilings. It's just sort of a room. Okay. So is that something you can do as part of like being a ranger, beastmaster? You can command your sword. Can you read the text of how that works to me?
Good question. I don't have it written down. I can communicate telepathically with them, and they can take like certain actions.
Okay, do you have the stat block for your flying sword with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I need you to roll for your sword. I'm not gonna roll for it. Because I want to give more agency to you.
Initiative?
Your sword, let's say,
Attack?
acts on the same initiative as you. Just to sort of...
Attack?
Okay, you're gonna have it attack? Okay, so make an attack roll.
What are you having me roll for?
Attack, on behalf of
okay.
your sword. So you look at the stat block for your sword, and you attack as it.
God. It's not a good day. That was a 10.
Okay. For some reason, also, your captions aren't working. Can you try saying something again, Max?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, great. You just have to speak closer into the mic, I think. It's not picking it up
I will
otherwise.
speak louder.
Great, awesome.
I love doing that.
A 10, unfortunately, is not going to hit. But as the sword sort of, I think the sword like whizzes, you hear it like scream in your head, go, yes, yes, blood, violence, I crave this, father! And just sort of cartwheels and, but the Myriad just sort of like, you know that like scene when like in Legend of Korra, where Korra's like training to be like an airbender and she's just sort of like moving through, sort of like, just sort of like moves, again, he seems to be a very ordinary person. His movements, even, there's nothing special about them, but it's like he knows exactly where to go before the sword does. He's just sort of like moving, and then the sword misses. Like it's like whirling and whirling, but it misses and it doesn't hit the Myriad. And you swear you hear the Myriad chuckling as this is happening. And your sword actually, with a 10, because it missed, spins out of control, and it hits one of the crates. Roll a D1000 for me.
1,000?
How you do that is you roll 3d10 sequentially, and each number is going to be counted as 1 out of 1,000. If you get 3 10s, that's 1,000.
All right.
Sorry, Connie. Did you spend a week and 2 weeks just coming up with 1,000 different items that are in these crates? Just wondering.
I will not say anything or answer your
807.
question. What'd you get?
807.
807. Let me I'm gonna have to look up 807. Hold on. 807.
You really
they
did,
knew
huh?
the first 700 off the top of their head.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, as soon as your sword sort of it slices open a wooden crate, and then it's like a blinding white light seems to spill from inside this crate, and you're temporarily blinded. And as soon as the light settles down, for 100 feet around your sword, there are no more crates. There are no more boxes. And the ground seems to become transparent for 100 feet around your sword. It's like you're floating in the middle of space, even though you can feel the ground underneath you.
Interesting.
It just sort of becomes transparent. Do you have any other actions you can take, Dewey?
Yeah, I didn't use like dash. So, once I am concealed behind these boxes, can I use Pass Without Trace?
Can you? Can you act both as yourself and as your sword? As Beastmaster? Yeah. Okay, then yes you can. So, describe to me how that works.
I'm casting a spell. I'm gonna pull my hood up over my head, and there's going to be a veil of shadows and silence that radiates from me. Is my sword within 30 feet?
Yeah, let's say it is.
Okay, then it's also affected.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm still.
You pull your hood up. Oh, that's so cute. So that means all of your stealth checks are made with like +10 or something, right?
Correct.
Okay, so as like let's say like your sword slices through light, like everything seems to just vanish or disappear or turn invisible or something, and then in the midst of this invisibility, a veil of shadows descends upon you, and you hear and your sword, and you hear the Myriad laugh again, this booming laughter radiating out from this dog-like jaw, and he says, "You can run, Cardew. You can run, but you can never hide." And it's gonna be his turn. And he says, because you didn't answer my question from earlier, if you wanted to die by something natural, something primal, or something dead, I'll choose the hardest one for you. And then his head seems to crack, and he like lets out this like guttural growl, and he begins to transform. And let's see, what's he gonna transform into? That's fun. You just see suddenly, like, he's like bulging his skin and his fur, and then he scatters. Just poof. He like seems to explode into a swarm of centipedes.
This is literally the worst possible outcome.
Yes, this is quite possibly the worst possible outcome. As you see, just like this like, there's enough centipedes to comprise like a person, maybe, and it seems to be just skittering over nothingness, over this like blank space, and is like running toward where you are. Let's say, based on how you're using Pass Without Trace, I'm gonna have him make his attacks against you with disadvantage. Because I don't want you to just be like, oh, because it's not technically supposed to be a combat move, but whatever. Who cares? I think
I have no combat spells.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna punish you for that. So he is going to, well, I guess all of him? Question mark is going to, you hear their little legs skittering against the ground. You think you can hear their pincers going as they attack, let's say, you. They're gonna try to attack you. So, it's gonna try to bite you. What? Does a 12 hit?
Nope.
Okay, so these centipedes try to like swarm where you are, but they seem to miss you. Let's say you're like, like, but they, like, whatever you're moving, they don't seem to hit you exactly. And then they're gonna try to bite you again. Would a 16 hit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are going to take, thankfully, even though there's a lot of them, they are still just tiny bugs. So you're gonna take 2, 4, 5, 6 points of piercing damage. You're gonna take 6 points of piercing damage as the centipedes suddenly grab onto your leg and they begin to skitter up your body, and they're leaving tiny little bites all over your
Banana boat!
Oh, okay. Great, cool.
No more bug talk!
No more bug talk, got it. So let's move on to Øka and Manaia. Øka and Manaia. So what did the two of you get for your initiative roll?
17. Sorry, I didn't
wow.
turn my mic back on.
18.
Wow, okay.
Eee.
So actually, Manaia, you are going to go first.
So, have we positioned ourselves at this point, or are we
Yes.
just entering the arena
Let's
from
say
the
you've,
dugout?
you've positioned yourself. I'll allow you to state where you are.
Okay. So I sort of imagined us, as we enter into the arena, we go to the left and forward just a bit to be on the creature's right side and also in full view of Miss Pink Frilly Black Teeth.
Yes, Miss Pink Frilly Black Teeth. You got her name. It's Miss Saram.
Saram?
Yes,
Saram, that's
yes.
what it was. And I will face towards the dugout, so away on to the opposite side of where where the wall that the creature is facing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Øka, if it's okay with UC, will be facing the wall that the thing is up against.
So y'all are sandwiching it?
No, we're side by side, back to back.
Oh, got it. Sure, that's fine.
And from here, I'm not going to take any combat actions like against it. I'm going to wait for it to come to us, but I will make a perception check to see any exits, any ways we can get out. Are there any other dugouts or places we could get out? Not that we're going to get out now, but in case we need to.
Like to escape and run?
Mhm.
I'm not gonna make you make a perception check for that, because that would suck for you to take your action away. I'm just gonna describe what you see. Inside the ring, there are 2 entrances / exits. There's the one that this monster was sort of roped in through, and there's the one on the other side. So if this monster fighting pit were an oval, it would be on each tip of the oval, like that. Yep.
We didn't come in from the side of the oval. Okay.
Yeah, you guys actually, to get in, you sort of, the wall opened up, because y'all were in sort of like a little, like, similar to like a penalty box for hockey. You know how like the wall of the hockey rink can open to like admit hockey players? Like that. Like the wall opened up, it hinged open. But there are 2 other like actual, that seem to go deeper in, like into the pit or deeper into the god spine or something. The ones I described on either end of the oval. And the exits on either end of the oval have like portcullises drawn down to prevent escape. And you know that even though you know that the walk can open in that like one quote unquote penalty box area, like the waiting area, let's say, it seems to be closed and guarded right now. Like the whole thing is sort of like, the whole point of this is sort of like either you die or the monster dies.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there any places we can take cover? Any leftover pieces of or rock or whatever?
There don't appear to be. It appears to be a straight arena.
Flat?
Yep.
Okay.
For now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let me reorient everything in my mind. Because I was imagining we coming from the sides of the oval, like the flat. But anyway. We're still going to be on the left. I think instead of being back to back, I think we're both going to face the monster.
Okay.
That makes more sense, right? Right.
It would. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense for Øka's back to be turned to the monster.
And I'll watch everyone else until the monster gets to us.
So you're not going to attack?
No. It's too far away, right?
You can make it. You can get to it.
Wait, how big is this oval?
It's pretty big, but you guys are pretty close to the... I said football field, but it's actually not that big. Theater of the mind, don't worry too much about feet. You can reach the monster. Don't get too caught up on feet. I don't want you to do that. Just like you can get in range and hit it. If you're delaying your turn, this thing is, you can like prepare an action if you want and wait for a trigger. But I, as a GM, I don't think you should not do anything. Personally, just like as a tip.
Okay.
You can delay your turn and have Øka act first if you are at a loss for
I'll
what
do
to
that.
do. Okay, great.
I'll do
So
that.
Øka, you go first. What do you do?
Okay. I'm going to start with bonus action. Øka's going to unsheath their Dow Blade and kind of do like a cute, like twirl. But as they do, they're going to just, they're doing it insofar as they're going to make a tiny little cut on the side of on the side of their cheek. So I'm gonna roll a d6. All right, and I'm gonna take 4 points of damage and activate my Crimson Right. So the blade begins to glow hot with fire.
Okay.
It seems like nobody else is. There's, it's kind of like the moment right before the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Like hunches a little bit. They twirl their blade. They look at Manaia, nod once, and they're gonna charge in.
Okay, sounds good. What are you doing when you charge in? Are you just gonna go for it and attack?
And they're going to charge in?
Potentially. Is that like, if I got close to it, I wouldn't be able to hit its face, right?
Yeah, its face is kind of high up. It's 15 feet high up into the air, because this thing is 15 feet tall.
Did C cut off for anyone else?
C did cut off. C's currently frozen for me, but I can hear you, C, which is the most important thing.
Oh yeah, I can see myself being frozen. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I have
You're
a
like
fun
frozen in
little
like a claw pose. Is he, Is he,
Are you, the claw.
So C, what are you trying to do?
Good Wi-Fi.
What part of the monster are you trying to hit?
I want to go for its face.
Face. It's 15
Which
feet
one?
tall. How are you gonna get to it?
Well, I hate to use this, right at the beginning.
Did you already spend a bonus action to use your Blood Hunter thing, though?
I used a bonus action.
Okay, so that is
but
already
I haven't
used.
used my action yet. And to use my Radiant Soul is an action.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Wait. What if?
Yes, Manaia?
Wait, I have an idea too.
Okay,
I think we're maybe having the same idea.
I think we might have the same idea.
what's the idea?
Øka turns to Manaia as they're starting to dash forward,
Mm-hmm.
and they go, "Throw me! Throw me!"
By Mahout, get on the axe.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oka's gonna jump forward,
And
jump
Manaia's gonna
backward.
put the axe beneath their feet
Okay.
and just fucking launch them.
So without using your Radiant Soul. So you're gonna try to get to the face and hit it, Øka, is what I'm assuming?
I'm gonna gonna see how far I'm getting. If I need to use my radiant soul, I will.
Okay,
is what
so
I'll say to
Manaia,
you.
let's say that's your action is to help this happen. So why don't you roll athletics for me, Manaia? Øka, you're fine. You're just being launched.
I'm just being launched.
You're being
NBD.
launched. You're being catapulted. No big deal.
NBD.
NBD.
Don't worry about me.
What'd you get?
Non-natural 21.
Non-natural 21.
hell
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that
Oh,
is pretty
hell
incredible.
yeah.
Also, I'm gonna get rid of a point of inspiration from Max because I think you used it to reroll your. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, with a 21, you're right on target, Øka. You are soaring through the air. The wind is rushing. You hear the crowd just go bonkers. Everyone, and you hear this like announcer go, "Holy smokes! By Scott and Nectus by Unibathi, I've never seen such a maneuver being used. Look at that drow fly!" Seems to have mistakenly labeled you a drow based on your appearance, Øka. As you're soaring through the air,
It's fine.
make an attack roll against this thing's head. I will give you advantage on that attack roll because that was a baller move.
Oh, fuck yeah! Alright, y'all. Let's do this. And let's see. Before I even say that, I am going to use my reaction also to use my blonded bloodletting.
Okay.
So the blood that is on my sword, I'll roll to attack first, see if I hit.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. What'd you get?
Okay, that was an 8 and a 9, so I'm going to use a point of inspiration.
Great.
My personal inspiration.
Personal inspiration.
I'll start
Got
with.
it.
Alright, baby! That was a natural 19. Let me add what I'm going to add.
It hits. You don't have to worry about it. It
I
hits.
would like it to be known that it's a 25.
Okay, you get a 25. Of course a 25 is gonna hit. A 25 would hit fucking Tiamat, okay? So roll damage.
And you know what? It's fucking alright. I'm so excited. Okay, let me just roll base damage. It's going to take, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And 5 points of fire damage.
So 15 total.
15 total.
Okay.
And it is going to, let's see. Let's see. I think that it is going to have disadvantage on its strength savings throws for the next minute.
Okay.
And Øka is going to lodge the sword right in between the eyes on its face and hang on, like they're gonna brace their feet against its like the bridge of its nose and just like BAM!
You
Right in
bam.
there.
Okay. You slam your sword in there, and this thing lets out like a human wail. It doesn't sound like a monster.
Oh.
It sounds like a person screaming as you plunge your fiery, bloodied sword into its face. It lets out this horrific, really pitiful wail, and you see like its neck begin to thrash a little as you're like bracing yourself on top of it. Is that the end of your turn?
That is, I think, I've taken literally everything I could take so far. So yes, that is the end of my turn.
At the end of your turn, this creature sort of rears up onto its two back legs. So you're now like in the air, like 20 feet up into the air, like flailing at the end of this demonic palm tree. And it is going to bend its neck in like a really like contorted Manaia, from your perspective, it like makes like a U-turn with its neck to bring it down to its front claws, and it's gonna bam try to smash you with its claw. So
And this is on Øka's turn, not its turn.
this is a legendary action it's taking at the end of Øka's turn. So
Wait, a what?
a legendary action that it's taken.
You know,
Would-
which one is better, monsters?
Never heard.
Would a 16 hit?
Yes.
Okay. Øka, I am sorry to say, but you are going to take
Holy fuck. I have only 36 hit points. Please don't hurt me.
13 points of slashing damage. Okay?
Lord fuck.
You take 13 points
I
of
have
slashing.
resistance to poison. I have resistance to poison damage.
Good, because you're also going to take an additional 5 points of poison damage, but you're only going to take 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone know what 36 minus 15 is? Because I don't.
22.
21.
21.
Thanks.
21. 21.
Oh,
Yeah,
you said 36. Sorry.
Thanks.
I was thinking
Yeah.
36.
You do notice it's clear that its claws also seem to be dripping with the same kind of black-green, like poison venom that its tail is. Okay? Manaia, you see this creature dig its claws into Øka's back and just rake. Okay.
Okay. Wriggles their fucking sword in tighter.
Okay, it just lets out another pitiful human scream. And now, actually, running up to it, sort of, not running, let's say walking carefully, but measuredly up to this creature is going to be this large buff drow woman. She's going to unfurl her whip and just lash her arm back and she'll like try to attack the claw that's like raking your back, Øka. The whip lands, and actually, Manaia, because Øka, I think your back is turned, you see like the whip actually wrap around the claw, and this creature is going to take. Let's see. Okay, 15 points of slashing damage, and another 3 points of piercing damage, so that is 17 total, as the whip hits it, and then this woman is going to it's going to try to grapple it. It's currently holding on to it, pull its arm away from you, Øka. And for now, succeeds.
It has disadvantage on saves.
It's not a save necessarily, it's a check, but the distinction seems pretty silly, so I'll say it does. Either way, it would have failed. The distinction does seem silly, like based on like flavor-wise what we're trying to do here. So this woman, this drow woman, is you hear her like sort of groan as she pulls this huge thing's arm away from your back, and that's gonna be her turn. And now we are going, and the other three men are sort of circling, and they let out a cry as they begin to just blindly attack this thing as this thing's tail begins to whip at them. And on that whip, we transition over to V. V, what did you get?
I got an 18.
Okay, all of y'all are rolling high for your initiative. You go first. What do you do?
All right. So I'm going to cast Fireball. Obviously, the
Holy
room is
fuck.
larger than 20 feet because I can't see past my light.
Okay.
So
I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast fireball.
okay. So this is what's gonna happen. V is gonna like, as if her hand is almost like a gun, like cock it and like get ready with the gem face forward, and then just the littlest little flame is gonna sputter out of it and dance through the air, past all the creatures, and like maybe like they kind of see it and they're interested.
Yeah, they're like
Meanwhile, there's
looking. They're like
Yeah,
looking
there's
at
like
this flame.
orchestral music. It's kind of like the beginning of Forrest Gump with the feather.
Sure.
floating through the air.
Yeah,
And it's just gonna like go into the darkness and like flick and like seem to be gone, and all of a sudden just boom! This 20 feet diameter or radius fireball is going to consume everything within 20 feet.
Because I'm nice to you, I'll say this room is at least 30 feet big, so you're not caught in the explosion.
I would have been able to see it with light then.
That's true.
had I
Yeah,
been-
you're not. Don't worry about it. You're not caught in it. So what happens? How do they?
So
save?
anything that is within that radius has to do a dex save against 14, and if they hit the dex throw, they only take half 8d6 damage.
Okay.
Six.
I will say these are just little chicken things. You're incinerating. I'll make one roll for.
Did you just say 8d6?
8d6.
Fuck.
Okay, they fail. Hold on. I need to make a few more rolls. 14, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you roll damage? Just roll your full damage for now. And V, while you're rolling damage, you weren't able to do this before. What changed?
No. I leveled up after I fought the Sievert. I practiced. I realized that my fire was really going to be helpful in maybe round 2 with Sievert, and so whenever I've had some free moments away from y'all, I have been sitting here trying to cast Fireball just over and over again until I've started to get a hang of it.
Were you powered by rage and anger at Sievert? Yeah. Let's say all of that swims to the surface. You're thinking about this white dragonborn man that wronged you, and you blast these creatures into the beyond. What did you get?
29 points of fire damage.
Okay. Hold on. I have to do a little bit of math. Okay.
Don't forget to carry the 1.
Yeah, understood. So you see the far corner of this room just light up. You see more cages. This room actually goes for, as the fireball is like light illuminating it, right? You see that this room actually goes for far deeper than you expected. It's less of a room, more of a hall almost, but it's wide as well. And like lighting the hall are just cages. Cages upon cages upon cages. Of like not moving things inside of what used to be people, their bodies. And your fireball, it's like a tunnel of flame. Good for you, because you see a ton of these creatures just like in like the hallway, like outside of the cages. Like they were all just feasting on bodies, and all of them just let out this like this like horrible like high-pitched squealing wail as the flame incinerates them, and you kill 10 of them at once. As the flame just, you kill 10 of them. You see their charred bodies just, they like burn up and they're screaming, and they melt into ash. That's how hot the fireball is. They just turn into ash. And there's only like a handful of them left. There's only maybe like 4 or 5 of their brethren who are able to like dodge out of the way, or they weren't in the like exact blast radius. But for that one moment, the end of this hall was illuminated. Maybe 35, 40 feet away from where you're standing, a large door made of stone at the end of this hallway. And you saw very briefly a chrysalis symbol etched into it light up, turning red with your flame. You also saw, sort of at the end, 2 familiar-looking creatures sort of shrinking away from the light. Masses of black shadow made of tangled limbs. The creatures that you fought off for the Queen. You see 2 of them pressed against the wall. And now it is going to be the remaining chickens' turn. That's what I call them. What did we call them? Chicken boys? Was that it?
I think chicken boys was what we called them.
Chicken boys? Okay, they're gonna try to get you. I'm treating them like minions. So let's say there's 4 of them. They run up to you, and they all each try to latch onto a different limb, because I'm assuming you have 4 limbs. What's your armor class?
16.
Okay, 1 hits, 1 does not. 1 hits, 1 does not. So 2 of them hit, the other 2 just sort of sail past you, let's say as you like dodge them, and they are going to hit you. You take 10 piercing damage total from the 2. 1 latches onto your left leg, the other latches onto your right arm. They dig in, and they're holding on to your limbs. And the other 2 that sort of sailed past you, you hear their sharp taloned claws scrabble on the ground, and they turn around and they're gonna go for you again. And that's sort of the end of this combat round, let's say. You hear them scrabbling, and they're launching themselves at you again. And now, we move to Dewey. Oh, Cardew. It's your turn. These, no bug talk, but bugs are on ya.
Great, love it. Are they on me?
They were trying to bite you.
Okay, I want to climb. These boxes are stacked pretty high, right? I want to climb.
There's a bunch of different mounds of various sizes. You're gonna try to climb one?
But they're invisible.
Within 100 radius, there are no more of your sword. 100-foot radius. So you can you see some in the distance. You see like some boxes in the distance, but they seem to have disappeared. Are you gonna try to feel for them to see if they're there but invisible, or to like confirm if they've actually vanished?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna make you make a check for that, because as you sort of like stumble, because there's the Myriad is on you, toward one of these boxes, your body collides into one. They seem to have simply turned invisible.
Okay, I just want to get a little bit off the ground.
Okay.
As high as I can go without I can't see what I'm climbing.
Yeah, so let's say make an athletics check with disadvantage. You can try to use inspiration to cancel it out if you want.
Is that my action?
No.
Okay. Athletics. 9.
That won't. That is going to be treated as a mixed success, so you can use inspiration if you want to.
We have a lot.
You have a lot.
We have a lot. Please use
Okay,
them.
fine.
Are you going to use
Roll
collective
that.
inspiration or your individual?
I'll do my own first.
Okay, sounds good. So roll one more time.
13.
Total?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, with a 13, that's just like a flat, middling, average success, let's say. You sort of ungracefully, with your feathered hands, claw your way up this invisible, like, you, like, miss a few times. It's like not being able to see stairs, you know, but going the other way. You're doing your best, and you can sort of, you hear, like, hissing all around you from the bugs that are on you. As you're climbing up, you manage, with a 13, you manage to get about 10 feet off the ground.
Okay.
And that's the extent of what you can do with that. What's your action? Your sword is still like flying in a propeller around you. You can hear his voice in your head go, it's on you, father! Shall I hack? Shall I hack?
You got this.
Okay, make an attack roll for your sword, if that's what you want.
You can attack roll against yourself.
Yeah, so I will let you know, if you get a nat 1 or a really low attack roll, it will hit you instead.
Not the case. I got
Okay.
23.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah, it just, like, it's like a scene from like a wuxia, like movie, like a Chinese, like, it just like it doesn't cut your skin, but it, you know, like it like just cuts the bugs off, you know? So roll damage.
Just a little off the top.
What is D? D8. 3 plus 4, 7 damage.
Okay, 7 points of damage.
Slashing damage.
Okay, a few bugs fall off of you, you know, maybe like, say, like half of the bugs fall off of you and they fell onto the ground, and the rest sort of hiss in anger. Do you, Dewey, as you, have a move?
Yep, I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out one of the gems of, well, it is just one gem of seeing, that Dr. So gave us.
Okay, how many charges did I say it had? 2?
2.
Okay, you're gonna expend a charge?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know how it works. I'm like shaking it, like
Okay.
looking through it.
Wow, okay. You're gonna look at the Myriad?
The whole room if I can.
Okay. As you peer through this gem at your body first, let's say that's what you're preoccupied with, you don't see centipedes. Instead, roll religion.
Legion? For a bunch of bugs? Oh, fuck.
Because it's a gem of true sight. It allows you to see a creature's true form. This is like
I'm
level
gonna
20
take-
shit.
Another point of inspiration, because that was a nat 1.
Sounds good.
God damn, today's not a good day for rolls.
Would you like to use a collective inspiration? You
Do
have
it, I
10.
wanna know, I wanna know!
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
do you have a necklace coin?
I can't predict what I'm gonna roll. Yeah, I'm gonna use a point of collective inspiration.
Do
Wow,
it.
just burning through these, huh?
What'd you
Okay,
get?
there we go. 20.
20. You see a demon holding on to you. Instead of the myriad, you know, dog-headed man, person's body, you just see like a mass of like eyes, mouths, like grabbing hands, and like gaseous form. This is the myriad's true form, and based on your 20 roll, you know instantly, instinctively, the smell of burning hair, everything's coming together. This is a demonic entity. This does not belong, the myriad is not a person. The myriad, in fact, based on how demons work in Andake, is an emissary of the beyond. A creature that can travel between the now and where the gods reside. For some reason, is here. And has all sorts of like, his form is mercurial. It's never stable. Like you see, like it seems to flash between neon, translucent rainbow, and then like pure pitch black, and then like celestial angelic white. And its form is constantly shifting, constantly moving. This is the thing that is clinging onto your body, is what you see with the Gem of True Sight. And as you sweep and look around the room, you see the boxes that were invisible there. They're no longer invisible. You see the ground. It appears that whatever effect your sword sliced open had just caused like a sphere, 100-foot radius sphere of invisibility to like descend, like radiate from where it cut out the box. Appears to be what has happened. As you look around, you also seem to see, you don't see a wall or ceilings, which means that in its truest form, there are no walls or ceilings in here, which likely means this is a pocket dimension of some sort.
So the door I came in through.
So as you're looking for the door you came in from, it doesn't seem to be there anymore.
Nice going.
As you look, as you look through the gem. Is that your action? Did I write in the thing that it takes an action to look through it?
I don't. It just says. I think
it's an action. It seems like you get a lot of information from that. So as you're like peering through this gem, the Myriad, you hear his voice, even though he's a collection of bugs, half of which are on the floor. You hear like his voice like hissing in your ear, like, you may be able to see me, but that doesn't stop the fact that I'm going to poach you alive, boy. And he's gonna shift form. The rest of the bugs peel off of you. I guess if you wanted, you could have an attack of opportunity against the bugs as they fall away from your body.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I will take anything I can get.
Great. Do you have like a dagger on you or like a regular short sword or something?
I have a quarterstaff.
Great. You're gonna use your quarterstaff. What did you get?
A 10.
It's not quite gonna be enough. You can expend another point of collective inspiration if you want.
No, that's okay.
Inspiration.
I've used like 3 points this round.
So, you guys still have a lot. No?
No, it's fine.
Okay, you miss. The bugs just sort of fall away, and you don't seem to hit any as they're falling away, and you hear like this cackling voice again in your head. And then he is going to, as he falls to the ground, his form shifts again. And by the time he hits the ground, the centipedes have formed a saber-toothed tiger. As this thing just all powerful muscle and killer instinct with these two huge fangs from its body, and it is going to try to hit ya. I hope you're okay with that. I guess that's the whole point of D&D is just things trying to hit things. It is going to attack you. It's going to try to pounce up at you because if the tiger can do that, it's going to pounce up at you and try to take a bite.
Is this because we're raising money for tigers?
Yes, this is for tigers, y'all.
Oh god.
Take a bite. Does a 20 unnatural hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does a 20 hit?
Does a 20 hit your level 5 AC?
You're gonna take
your pitching body.
You're gonna take 6 piercing damage, and because it pounced at you, you make a strength saving throw for me.
Great. Love those. 15.
15. That is sufficient. You are somehow able to hold your ground against a literal saber-toothed tiger, now the Myriad is just on you. It's like scrabbling. It's found purchase on the invisible boxes, and it's bit into you, but you're able to stand your ground and you're not knocked over or knocked off of the invisible boxes.
Shouldn't you be extinct? Kind of a weird disguise to take.
Yeah, is that what you say out loud?
Yeah.
In that tone of voice?
Yeah.
Just kidding. So yeah, you hear the Myriad growl, obviously, through the saber-toothed tiger's mouth, but you also sort of hear, like, the voice, not quite in your head like the way that your sword is in your head, but sort of all around, like it's projecting it out loud to anyone who's in here. You hear the voice go, "I've been alive longer than you have ever been thought of by the universe." And with that sort of guttural primal growl, we are going to transition back to our two best buds in the monster fighting pit. Whoosh.
Hey, yeah.
Tank buds.
Tanks.
Last we saw y'all, this face stealer's tail was whipping at the 3 unfortunate nameless dudes running toward it with short swords and shields. And you see its tail just slap all 3 of them just like across the. One of them is able to like guard it and brace with his shield, but the other 2 are not so lucky with their bucklers. They are knocked backwards, and they let out horrifying screams of pain as the spikes dig into their body and they're knocked prone. That's another legendary action this creature is taking, and it lets out from the various faces on its body, it lets out a scream of either anger or anguish. You can't tell. And now we are going back to the top of the order, and it is... Wait, hold on. That was the legendary action. The three guys, two of whom were knocked over, the one who was able to brace himself, he shakes it off, he runs forward, and he's going to try to slash at this thing, and he manages to deal 6 points of damage with his short sword. And the other two get up, and they run up toward it as well, but they're limping real bad, they're bleeding, and they get it for a 6 as well total, so total is 18 points of damage from these three dudes. And now we're going to go back to the top of the order, and that is going to be Manaia.
All right. I've been planning this out for like 6 years.
I'm so fucking ready. I've always wanted somebody to throw me. This is making our dreams come true. Let's do it.
So Manaia's been running forward as she was getting momentum to launch Øka forward. She's going to keep running forward and shout at the drow woman behind her.
Okay.
On my mark, pull.
Okay. You shout at her. She looks at you with these, bright, burning eyes. And she doesn't seem to react, but you get the sense that she is on your page.
Okay. So the head is, curled down, right? Towards the ground?
Yeah, it was
With Øka on
curled
it?
at itself, at its own belly. But it's one of its claws is, pulled away.
Yep.
Because the whip is on it.
Manaia is going to run up to what would be the top of it that's now curled down, bear hug it, and attempt to flip the thing over.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
It's huge. It's 15 feet large. But it's gonna be hard.
I'm using that nat 20 that we have. That
using the auto crit.
The auto crit. That's
use the auto crit.
Okay.
I'm flipping this. I will wrestle this face stealer.
Okay, fine. You use your nat 20. It's gone now. Okay. You launch yourself at this thing, and you... muscles tense.
I yell at the drow as well.
To pull and help you?
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
she pulls. I like that. And with your combined huge muscular girl strength, this thing lets out more of those humanly wails as it is flipped onto its belly and pile drived onto the ground. Just whoosh. There's a huge explosion of dust on the ground as this thing hits the ground. Why don't you roll damage for it? The same way you would roll just damage on your axe, but let's count it as bludgeoning.
Oh.
As you pummel it
That was
because it's a
mistake.
nat 20.
Nat 20, so double damage.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll allow it.
Okay.
Flip it. Øka screams as they get flipped around again.
Yeah, you're still there. You're hanging on. Actually,
Øka's not moving that much because the head isn't moving. That's the axis.
Exactly. It's the fulcrum. So roll your axe damage. Jesus Christ.
D12. That's a crit, which means I get to roll a dice an extra time. Where's my other D12?
Oh my god, how much damage?
I'm built for this.
Oh my god. Okay, the crowd in the background is literally losing their minds. They're losing it.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
As this is happening, Manaia, as you're calculating your insane amount of damage, what did you get?
36, 42.
Did you just say 42?
42 damage. Because it's a crit, which means I roll the D12. Oh, I didn't add that. So actually, it's 26 plus 16. 26 plus 16 is 42. Plus 6 is 48. Plus 6, 54.
54?
Plus, do I add my strength modifier to the brute extra damage?
I'm not sure. Chat, quick D&D nerds, do you add strength modifier to the brute's extra damage?
So I get an extra d4 of damage for every attack.
I don't know if you do.
Okay, in that case, it's just the extra 6. So what, 54?
Yeah, that's 54. Okay, 54 points of damage.
Because I have more.
Okay.
Kristen says
Is
you
it
do
dead?
add strength.
Oh, it does.
You do? Okay,
And
so
another 6 on that. So 60.
60? Okay.
Because it's double damage, so I add my strength modifier twice.
Okay. Hold
I
on.
do 1d6.
Yeah.
Manaia is built for single target damage and damage soaking.
Yeah, okay.
When it comes to crowd control, nothing. But 60 damage.
Jesus
Is it dead?
fucking Christ. No.
Is it dead?
It is not
No. I have an extra attack, because I'm level 5.
Okay, go for it. See, y'all were like, ooh,
I'm
legendary
starting
action! Ooh, fuck you. You're literally unkillable demigods. Fuck off. Fuck off.
I'm salty about this one.
It's my monster. You're killing her. Okay, what you get?
So here's what I'm gonna do. I have an extra attack on level 5.
Okay.
So Manaia's gonna, after she like pile drives this thing, is gonna get up, pull her axe out, and attempt to like cut this thing's head off.
Okay.
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 Roll the hit, I suppose.
Yes.
Do I get advantage because it's prone?
Yes.
Hell yeah! Listen,
Can you get some hype in chat, please?
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
y'all, that was 60 plus points of damage.
that's
I'm
a
gonna be mad if
21
I don't get my second turn.
21 to hit.
Obviously that hits.
Not natural.
I love when Connie has to use the voice that I use because Connie's trying to kill me. They're so overpowered.
That was a 1 for damage, which I re-roll because that's a 2-headed weapon. 6. Wait, plus d1d4. Where'd my d4 go?
When does your damage die level up?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
Okay.
When does my brute damage die level up?
Yes.
I think it's in a level or 2.
Yeah, I like level 6, I think. Okay.
I don't remember. I'll check it later. Do I successfully chop it?
So
Head
it's
off.
11 points, an extra 11 points of damage.
Yes.
You hack it. Yeah, maybe
Okay.
it's a thick neck. You know, it's like a thick
Okay.
tree trunk. You don't chop it off, but you do get your axe good in there. Your axe is it's,
Okay.
like, wedged in there.
While it's wedged in there, I'm going to
Oh my god, there's more.
basically jump on it. I have an action surge, which gets me an extra action, which I'm going to use to fully try to cut this thing's head off.
You're gonna
so
attack
that's-
again.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my action surge, which I only get once every long rest.
Does your action surge stack with extra attack? Because every time you take the attack action, you attack twice.
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
do believe
you-
action surge is a bonus action.
So you can have 4 attacks in a
3.
round. 3.
Once per long rest.
Once.
3, because
okay.
I get first one extra attack plus action surge.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
Action surge to like actually just cut this thing's head off.
Okay, you can try. Go for it.
Can I roll great axe damage, or do I just like?
You have to attack again, right? So you have to make another attack
Yeah.
roll. Yeah. But with advantage because it's prone.
Yeah.
Oh god, my poor monster.
I'm gonna use a point of my inspiration. That was
Okay.
only an 18, and I'm not happy with that. Oh, that's 24 to hit,
Okay, that hits.
and which one? Which one? Where did all my d12s?
Jesus Christ.
How many do you need?
I have 3 d12s, and I can't find any of them because I'm a blind rat.
Your single round is taking like 10 minutes and you're dealing so
Listen.
much damage.
Listen, those are 2 1s, which I'm going to reroll because I'm using a 2-handed weapon, which I only get to reroll once, which is sad. So that's 8 more damage.
8 more damage.
Do
okay.
I cut this thing's head off?
You do not, unfortunately.
Dang it.
You were close though. It's like its head is like neck is like opening up. You know what I mean? And blood is gushing out, like this like black blood is gushing out and spraying you in the face. And Øka, you're clinging onto this thing's head. Is that the end of your turn, Devin?
I'm just gonna yell, "We'll help over here!" And that's it. I'm done. Muting myself. Bye.
Okay. At the end of your turn, this thing is going to try to use one of the claws that's flailing. It's going to try to reach up and try to just like splat at you. So it's going to make an attack roll against you. Does a 25 hit?
Connie, fuck off!
Okay. You take 10.
That's a 25 hit.
Oh god. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 22 points of slashing damage. And 4 points of poison damage. As this thing just... Its hand is like the size of... Well, you're big, so not quite the size of your torso. But it's raking your entire body from head to toe. And it just slashes you, like... And that's how much damage you take as its legendary action. And now it is going to be finally Øka's turn.
Sorry.
Take us home, Øka.
Øka's like riding a roller coaster, I think. They're like, I'm on your face! And then they're like, where we go? Like, you know, like, they got like turned upside down. And then they got stabbed in the back with a bunch of pointy claws. And they're still holding on, upside down, stabbing into it as hard as they can. And then the whole thing just flips over. They go, and they're still hanging on, but I don't think they have to because they're actually on the ground. Like they're on the ground.
Yes.
Like they're standing over it now,
Yes.
and they're like, okay, where am I? Where am I? All right, let's fucking go. Here's Manaia, watches her nearly cut this thing's head off, and is like, all right, I got this. Let's see. Great. I think Øka is going to, I'm going to use my action to use my radiant soul. Whoa.
Okay, go for it.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Yep. Okay, so, I am going to unleash my radiant soul, which a couple freckles on Øka's face are going to start glowing.
Okay.
Their eyes flash a little bit, and the kind of what's it called? Halfway through invisible wings sprout from their back. They're gonna just push off into the air, taking the sword with them.
Okay.
But as they do, I'm going to use my bonus action to first of all, I think when doing that, it's like squeezing their shoulders so a little bit more blood comes out, so I'm gonna take another d6 of damage. Ouch. Okay, -3. I think I'm at 19 now. 21 minus 3. Is that true? 19? Whatever. I can't do math. I'll figure that out in a minute.
18.
Yep. 18. I'm at 18 points of damage. Or not 18. Whatever. I'm at 18 hit points left. And as the sword is coming out, Øka is going to use their blood curse of binding, and I used, that blood maledict. Sorry, I just have to mark it all off. And I'm going to attempt to bind the creature. Like, I'm going to draw its own blood out with my sword. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And use it to kind of, like, I'm going to let it come out, and then as I'm rising into the air, like, cover it, like, the same kind of, like, blood rope, you know?
Okay.
I mean, like, coming out of their sword.
So what does it have to do? Strength save?
It has to make a strength save, and it is still under the effect of my bonded bloodletting.
Yes, so it's disadvantage on it. Okay,
so
what is it trying to save against?
A 13.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's a 14 now.
Yeah, it does not make that save. So what happens now?
Hell fucking yeah.
What does it look like?
Its speed is reduced to 0, and it cannot use reactions.
Okay.
Which means that it is still prone on the ground. And it will be prone on the ground.
Its speed is 0 and it can't use reactions. For how long?
Until the end of my next turn.
Okay, no reactions until the end of Øka's turn. Got it. Thank you. Is that so? You draw its blood out, and it looks like a. Are you gonna do the web thing again?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like it's kind of like a spider web when the edge of the spider is Øka's sword, and they're like up above it and kind of like lashing it back and forth.
Uh-huh.
So,
like a big blood net.
Like and as it falls down, it like creates the blood net.
Okay. It's just you see like these red lines bite into its body, like it's a Christmas ham, and it's pinned onto the ground, and you see it like with your blood, and it like thrashes and it's trying, but you can see its like pallid flesh kind of flush red and green with the sick blood curse that you inflicted upon it. That's weakening its movements. Okay.
Yep.
Is that your turn? And you use your awesome arch rate.
Oh my fucking god! I have an extra attack! I forgot! Fuck.
You're level 5.
Okay, yeah. I'm level 5. Fuck! I totally forgot. It's down all the way to the character sheet. Yep, Øka's gonna fucking dive bomb it. It's gonna go with their sword. And I think they're actually gonna come down feet first onto the tip of Manaia's axe.
Okay.
Not like they're gonna stab itself, but onto like the handle,
With your feet?
Well, and the other side of the axe is rounded, so there's no chance of you like cutting your feet.
Of cutting your feet off. Okay. So why don't you make an attack roll then with your body?
Okay. Folding the wings in and coming down.
Yes. Like a peregrine falcon.
Yep. 22 unnatural.
That hits. So roll damage. Let's say roll damage like you normally would with your sword, but make it, I don't know, slashing.
Okay, great. I mean, it's already slashing.
Right.
All right, let's do this. Okay, that was nice. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 points of piercing damage 13. And an extra 4 points of fire damage.
Okay. Yeah. This thing's head comes off. As you pummel your feet into it, it
does.
The neck just severs. And its head actually, with the remainder of its neck, rolls away, but the head is still screaming and, yelling in anguish, and like black blood is just spraying everywhere from this wound. And on that, is that the end of your turn?
Yep, that's it.
On that, we cut to V. But before we cut to V, we are actually going to...
Cut
We're going to cut, as it cut its head off, we're going to cut over onto V's bright green eyes glowing from the flames that she just cast. But before we get to her, we're going to take a break. We're going to break. We're going to be back in 10. I need to get my shit together. Yeah, we'll be back in 10. Stick around. We're going to roll a fan art reel. So look at the beautiful, beautiful fan art people was made for our campaign. And join our Discord. Stick around. There's plenty of hours left in our marathon. So yeah, we'll be back. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back.
BRB.
If I go fast instead of slowly, instead of last, if my father survives me, if I explode, if I go up in smoke, if I go quietly, when I go quiet, give my heart to my mother. She'll know what to do. Give my songs to my lover. She'll know what to do. Give my bones to my father. My poems to my sister. My love to one another. Give it all to each other. And I suppose the soul can go to the children. I suppose the trash can go to the museum. I suppose the dreams can go in the casket. I suppose the blood will go where you ask it. Will go where you ask it. Will spill where you ask it. Will spill where you ask. I'll spill where you ask. I'll spill where you ask. I'll spill. I'll spill. I'll spill. I'll spill. I was once the tree, and I was the paper. I was the hair, and I was the razor. I was the leg, I was the table. I was the cloth, and I was the indigo. And I was the indigo, and I was the indigo, and I was the indigo, and I was the color girl, 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 and I was the color girl. It's the blue light when we're out with our friends. It's the blue light asking where the night should end. It's the blue light saying, come over. It's the blue light and my coat on my shoulders. Lying in your room, playing with your hair. Lying to myself, saying that there's nothing there. There's nothing that we share. No reason to care, no way of knowing where this is going. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing? It's the cold light of the moon when I'm walking home. It's the warm light through my window when I wake up alone. It's the white lies when our friends ask what's going on. It's the white lies when I say we're just fucking and that's all. Laughing in your room, riding in your car, promising myself I won't let this go too far. And yet here we are, so. And yet here we are, so. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing? much parties, college drinking, all you outcasts gather round, roll a fat one, pour the shots, give this death all you've got. Let the liquor loosen your mouth, make a bow with friendly tongues, call your lover, say you're sorry, then go back to making fun. Your friends are drunk and useless. Welcome to senior year. The night is young and ruthless, and you want to disappear in the hallway, in the hall, in the hallway, in the hall. You can hear them all around you, broken hearts and blushing sighs. Truth's a hard pill to swallow, but it'll still get you high. I know a faraway land, hidden from even the moon, somewhere queer and quiet, a place you can lick.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 10 of our main campaign. In the middle of a few atrociously high-hitting battles. So just as a reminder about the content warnings, I think we have some new folks in chat for this episode. The following are described in vague terms or heavily implied: imprisonment, torture, dismemberment. I guess that's pretty explicit, actually. Body mutilation and forced drugging. We also have a content warning for bugs, but I think that is past now. And just like general like fantasy gore, we tend to be pretty explicit about stuff like that. So if you, for a full list of content warnings, use !CW at any time in chat just to look at them so you can take care of yourself. Yeah, with that, let's go right back into the action. V. We were left off with you, your eyes lighting up green with red of this flame dying down now as two chicken boys have latched their gnawing, hungry mouths onto your two limbs, and the other two scrabble and snarl behind you while you can't see them anymore, but you know they're there, these two shadow creatures at the end of this hallway lined with cages. It's your turn. What do you do?
I am going to use a sorcery point to cast Shocking Grasp on both of the chicken boys that are attached to me.
Okay, how does that work? Is it just an attack roll?
I have to roll to try to hit.
Cool.
And then I do some damage if I hit.
Go for it.
One of them is 21, and the other is. Can I ask whether this hits, whether I re-rolled it or not?
You can't ask if it hits, but you
Okay.
can tell me what it is, and I can give you a facial expression.
All right. Well, it was a 15. Okay. I'll keep it then. So
Okay.
15 and 21.
Both hit. Roll
15
damage.
minutes, okay.
They're like minion status right now, which means that pretty much any amount of damage can take them out. So as you like zapping them, both of them let out like, and their mouths like pop open and they fall off, and they're dead at your feet.
Perfect. Excellent. That's really all I can do at this time. I don't have any type of other thing.
Something interesting happens. As soon as these, like, you fry these things, right, they fall to the ground, the two behind you let out these, like, low snarls, and they start chittering, like, have you ever heard, like, you know, like, the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park when they, like, chirp to each other? It's kind of that noise.
Yeah.
And then they are both going to weave and try to run down the hallway past you, like, away from you toward the door. You can make a melee attack of opportunity if you would like. Against one of them. as your reaction.
I mean, all I have are is a fist, so I'll try to
Kick
punch
'em.
one of them.
Okay, make an attack roll with strength as your
Punch the chickens.
try to
Okay, wait.
stomp the chickens.
Sorry. So okay, I got. Oh, it's a 16
That hits. Roll 1d4 plus your strength modifier.
plus. Oh.
Yeah.
The max is gonna be is 2 then. Okay.
You need at least, like, it's just a small amount to kill these. They're minion status. That is enough. That is enough. They each have 1 hit point. You bam! You stomp one of them and it's like it's pancaked on the ground.
Nice.
But the other one just weaves past your stomping feet and disappears into the darkness down the hallway. And for you, at least, the combat seems to be over. Or at least it appears so. An unsettling darkness and quiet settles over the hallway now. You hear what seems to be a stone creaking against stone, like is what you hear. What do you do?
Oh dear. I'm gonna have my light back on and looking around, and I'm gonna walk towards that door. I would love to try to perceive anything while walking towards it.
Okay. As you're walking toward the door, you look around at the cages that line the wall. They're all filled with, like, skeletons, picked clean of, like, flesh, you know, and meat and skin, and also just, like, clothes, tattered, bloodied clothes left on the ground, as well as, like, belongings just scattered everywhere. You see packs. You see a satchel with coins spilled. In these various cages, just people's belongings have just been shredded and left out.
I might want to take some of those gold pieces that I see.
I fucking knew it. Okay, you approach one of the cages where you see like a fat coin purse has been like spilt open. Just these big, huge, fat gold coins are calling at you. Just based on a glance, there's at least like 10 to 20 gold pieces in there. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Next
I'm gonna
to
take
a skeleton dressed.
I'm gonna
yeah.
look both ways and pour it into my own. Actually, I'll just put it in my pack. Yeah, I'll just put them in my pack.
So these are cages with doors that have like keys on them. So as you try the door, it's not locked, and it just swings open. On well-oiled hinges, and you notice these cages look pretty new. They're not like old and rusted. They're like clean, stainless steel almost. And as you walk in, your boots sort of tink 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 thud against like the steel ground, and you stoop down next to this corpse, this skeletal corpse, and you begin to you grab the money and you put it in your pack. You can now add 25 gold pieces to your belongings. V?
I'll just make a note to add 25. Okay. Yeah, I'll put them in my pack and then I'll keep heading towards that door.
Okay. You turn around. What's your passive perception again?
10.
Okay. It's a 10. Let's say as you're stooping down and putting the coins in your pouch, you hear that stone groaning again. You hear the groan, goosh. Do you do anything?
Let's go some chaotic action, shall we? I'm going to cast Disguise Self.
Okay.
Using, when I went in Balraj's mind, I saw a priest, right? And I'm going to then use Disguise Self to transform to look like that.
Okay. The priest that you remember, when Balraj, when he peered into his mind and you saw him prone on that hospital bed with his blood-lung disease, and this priest came and cured him. A bald man with kind of like a wrinkly face, kind of pale skin, very varicose, and these like long garments, these robes with like a beautiful like chrysalis embroidered on the front, right? Kind of an older man, right? Very like nondescript, almost like you were molded from like Play-Doh, kind of a doughy face. You turn into him, robes and all?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You turn around with your 10, you don't hear the footsteps until they're right up on you. And you come face to face with the guy that you're that you're pretending to be.
Excellent.
He is accompanied by, well, he's by himself, let's say. He's by himself. He's in the robes. His fingers are steepled. And as is your light still on? How are you handling the light? No, if your light were gone, this would be an absolute darkness.
Yeah, I'll keep it on, but let's say would I have had enough time to pull out a torch and do light on the torch?
Let's say you do.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
I won't begrudge you of that. You're holding a torch that's glowing magically with light. Or are you just making like a regular torch if you have torch in your backpack?
Nah, I'm just gonna cast light on the tip of it, so
okay,
it's much more friendly, eco-friendly.
Jesus, okay. Eco-friendly decision. You turn and you see your quote-unquote yourself. There's a brief moment of, you're not sure if it's surprise. His face doesn't seem to change at all. He just sort of sees you, stops, says, "That's interesting."
I'm gonna say this with actually my V voice still. I'm gonna be like, I have a business proposition for you.
The man sort of cocks his head a little to the side, and you see like just interest, curiosity glimmering in his eyes, and he waits for you to speak.
I see what you have going on here at the Chrysalis. I've heard all about your goings-on across the world. You're trying to obviously become something important in Andake after our, now that we have an opportunity with the stars being gone. And, you know, I think you could use my help, and I think I could use your help.
Who are you?
I'm going to let my just like the face melt away back into V, and I'll be like, I'm your best friend V.
Something that looks like recognition flashes across this man's face. And he says, "Ah, the elf. I have heard of you. And he looks around at the cages, at, you know, the blood on the ground, the dead monsters that you've killed, the scorch marks. You know, it's very obvious a battle happened here, and it's very obvious you saw these cages, you know, and you know that there's something going on here. And he says, "You style yourself as one of our prophets, no?"
It was an easy scam to lay on some of your up-and-coming priests, and I'm willing to roll with it if you are.
We might have an opportunity for you, based on your reaction to seeing this. He gestures at the fact that you just pillaged this body. We might make good allies.
I couldn't agree more, as long as you don't make me sign one of those contracts.
Ha! No. Only the grass signed the contract. You are far more enlightened than the grass. Clearly, if you were able to swindle your way all the way down here. My name is Shakor Lee. I am a priest of the Chrysalis. These creatures serve us. In fact, they are more holy than what we could ever hope to attain on our own. Come. Let us test your loyalty.
You lead the way, my friend.
Shakor smiles, that doughy smile, almost like his flesh is like soft and malleable. And he turns around with his hands clasped behind his back and walks down the hallway toward where the door is. The stone door. Do you follow?
I'm going to follow, yes. I'm going to let this guy's self completely melt off, and then I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to make the basically so there's going to be 2 sets of feet going through, and making sure I'm not directly behind him ever, and just trying to mess with his auditory ability to know where I am. But yes, I'm following.
Okay. Yeah, you cast Minor Illusion to like make the auditory effect. So you know he doesn't actually know exactly where you are. He doesn't seem to. He either doesn't notice or doesn't care. Either way, he doesn't turn around. And your light eventually from your torch lands upon this stone door, and he raises like a hand and presses it against the chrysalis symbol, and the chrysalis symbol glows in a black light that doesn't actually make light, but because your torch is shining on it, you see it glows darkly, almost in like an absence of light, in the opposite of light, like antimatter. And then the door, with that noise from earlier, it rolls open, leads into a tunnel of rough-hewn rock. Do you follow?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, oh, what is this? A tunnel of love, perhaps?
This Shockward doesn't laugh at all, or say, dignify that quip with a response, but he does say, you are about to meet, my leader, the enlightened Imago. Compose yourself. He will be the final judgment. See if you are worthy of joining our ranks, the upper echelons of the chrysalis. See if you are worthy of being touched by the chrysalis, of being molded and changed by the chrysalis, if you are worthy of the birth. And you follow. And on that, we turn, we cut to Dewey. Dewey, this saber-toothed tiger is snarling at you right in your face. But you know from looking through that gem of true sight, gem of true seeing, you know that the Myriad's true form is just this shifting black, constantly moving white, chromatic mass, right? This isn't his true form. Not even the dog-headed man is his true form. And this saber-toothed tiger seems to grin. And it is, I believe, your turn.
Can I have my sword distract and keep
fighting?
thrashing and, yeah, trying to get at him?
Okay, yeah, so make an attack roll on your sword's behalf.
20.
That hits. So why don't you roll damage? So as your sword wheels through the air and starts slashing at the saber-toothed tiger, you hear that voice again pressing in on all sides at you as though you were a person drowning and the water was pressing down on your body. And you hear the voice say, Aren't you tired of fighting, Cardew? Just let me kill you. So much faster. I promise you, it's painless. It's like falling asleep.
I'm gonna ignore that.
Okay. What did you get for damage?
5 points.
Okay, 5 points of damage. Cool. The sword sort of rakes along the side of the saber-toothed tiger's fur, and he lets out just like a like a laugh, almost as though that didn't bother him or hurt him at all. And he says, you hear the voice again. I tire of this. You no longer amuse me. I'm bored with you. I think I'll end this quickly.
You obviously have something. This can't be all you came to this plane for.
There's a pause. A pause, because it's saber-toothed tiger. There's a pause as the Myriad, you see his like huge jaws sort of cocked to the side. And he says, what do you know of the plains, boy?
You're not from here? And I doubt you came here just to take a job with the URL and hunt me down.
why don't you take a point of inspiration for that? That's a very astute insight. The Myriad says, that gem, of course. I have no idea how you found yourself one of those trinkets of the beyond. But you're right. I'm not just here to run mortals' errands for them. There's something I'm looking for. In the meantime,
Okay.
I seek to sate my boredom. And he sort of looks at you with like a predatory glint in his eyes.
You want to tell me what that item is? And we can stop this dog cat thing?
Why, you think you can help me? You think you can help me?
I'm capable of much more than you.
Roll persuasion.
Great, that's charisma, right?
Yes.
That didn't... Oh, fuck. I'm taking a point of inspiration because
Okay.
my rolls tonight have been garbage. That was a nat 1, by the way.
Oh,
Guess what I got now? And a nat 20.
a nat 20?
Yeah!
Holy fuck. Okay, sounds good. The Myriad's form melts until he's no longer a tiger, but that dog-headed man again. And he's sort of leaning against this like stack of invisible crates. So it looks like he's like just like leaning on air. And he like looks at you and says, you know, why the hell not? They're not paying me. I don't care about money, really. I just care about what's interesting to me, and this conversation right now is much more interesting than the hundreds of thousands of gold coins they're piling into my ledger. And he leans forward and says, what do you know of the Stranger War?
What do I know of the Stranger War? That's out of character.
Roll history, because I'm asking for a history roll, because I don't actually know if your character would know. So go for it.
I do know. It's a 25.
Holy fuck. Okay. Oh, I really didn't think I would have to pull out my GM notes right now, but I do. The Stranger War. That event rings a bell in your head. And you're a researcher, Dewey. That's your whole thing. You've poured through history books before. You know your stuff. You know your lore. Even though you're primarily an inventor, you are well read, let's say. The Stranger War is an odd chapter in Andake's mythos legends. You're not quite sure. It's so everyone knows the Gambit of Queens. That's sort of like the Trojan War in terms of Andake history. It's this like mythologized historical event, the clashing of various queens, back before Andake was Andake, before there were 8 distinct nations, all vying for power. It's called the Queen's Gambit because they used the people like pawns in this war. The people suffered the most. And when the people were done suffering, they rose up. Leading the people were 8 paragons. That's important for the Stranger War. These 8 paragons exemplified the best aspects of the 8 gods of Andake. They were mortals said to be chosen by the gods to champion their ideals. The Stranger War is an account. It's sort of like the Aeneid to the Iliad. If you're not sure what those two things are, the Iliad is an account of the Trojan War. The Aeneid tells of a hero, Aeneas, after the Trojan War. It's basically like fanfic of the Iliad, written written later. Stranger War is similar. This account claims that the paragons, after, ending the Gambit of Queens, the paragons were called back together again by their gods to combat a threat known only as the Stranger. It's this sort of like, it's almost like someone's OC, that they wrote into this. They're like, I've got this super powerful godlike thing that can kill all the gods. And all the heroes of like past ages banded together and try to fight this thing. Kind of like that. That's sort of how the Stranger War is treated in academia, which is why you haven't read too much into it. It's like, this didn't actually happen. This is like some like random person in history writing this. This isn't an actual accurate account of what occurred. But that's what you know of the Stranger War. That's why it's called the Stranger War. It's all the paragons from the Gambit of Queens banding together to fight this stranger. That's what you know.
I've read about it. What about the stranger?
Let's just say I'm keeping an eye, and a third eye opens on his forehead and then closes, on the legitimacy of that. And his dog nose starts sniffing you a little. What's that smell on you?
Yeah, I haven't taken a shower in a couple days, but like...
There's that, but it's deeper. The notes, there's something on you, Dewey. I wasn't sure about it before, but my nose never lies. It's how I was able to track you. We might not be so different, you and I. Tell you what, Cardew. I'll tell my employers at the URL that you gave me the old slip. If you agree to help me when I come to you next.
What?
I might need your help in the future. If you agree to help me, no questions asked, I'll let you go.
Can you give me some context around this?
Listen, boy, you're getting away with your life. Do you take the deal or not? Your sword goes, don't take the deal! I want to kill! Die! In glory! In the battle! In the glory of battle!
I can't get roped into contracts, promises with people I don't know their intentions of. That's why I left.
I seek information about this stranger, okay? This monster. My god seeks information about this creature. I haven't been in contact with my god for 2 months now. I think we know why. And the Myriad just gestures generally, but you figure they're talking about the Cataclysm. I have a feeling the two are related. Doesn't matter if I kill for pleasure. Doesn't matter if I care about the plight of the downtrodden. We're all stuck in the same damn boat. None of us can contact the beyond. Because of that, I'm seeking allies, and if you think you're so useful, I might require your help later down the line.
I mean, I'm basically just good for information.
So it's a deal. I'm not like those devils. I don't require a contract. Just your word is good enough for me.
What's your I'm gonna ask you again. What is your stake?
My stake is my existence good enough for you? Look, I can't be killed in a way that matters, but this thing might be the way that matters. Okay? I don't like to divulge my god's secrets, or tell you more than you absolutely need to know, because I like to see you squirm, Cardew, but it's more than that. We're all in danger, and the angels don't give a shit about what a demon says. But you might.
Okay.
Great. It's a deal. See you later, Cardew.
Wait, hold up. How will I know to get in contact with you?
I can sniff you out.
No, I don't want to do this again.
The Myriad says, that's how I like to do it. And then, poof, gone. We're gonna flash over to Manaia and Øka. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so as this thing's headless neck is spraying blood and gore, it's right? And this drow woman, right? She lets her whip fly and just flings her whip forward again, lashing it onto the neck. What's the neck stump, I guess, and is going to deal 15 points of damage to it as she just like grunts and just squeezes, and it actually, because she's squeezing the stump, it stops bleeding because it's forming kind of a tourniquet, but it begins to bleed from the thorns as well. And as that happens, something horrific occurs, which is this thing is still moving, right? And you see its two back claws, like the three dudes are still like hacking away at its like back legs, right? While all of this is happening, they're like trying to hit it, right? Its two back claws grab onto two of the dudes, and it like it squeezes their bodies, and you hear them groan, and you hear bones snap and crack.
Banana boat.
Okay, cool, got it. The tail eventually sneaks up, and there's just like a flash of movement, and the dudes are no longer screaming because their faces are gone. And their like bodies fall to the floor. They don't move anymore, and you see their faces appear on this thing's torso where there were blank spaces. Of the two dudes locked in an eternal expression of anguish. And this thing is actually, let's see, going to... Where is it? Okay, regain 12 hit points as it absorbs these men's faces. And as if like invigorated, right, by this purloining of their expressions, from the stump comes another head, and the crowd just goes wild, and we can end the session there, unless the two of you have things you want to do.
I don't want it to end. Fuck.
But it's about time, right? Oh, I guess we can keep going a little bit longer because it's like 5:19 and we were supposed to go until like 5:30 or so.
Manaia is frozen. And she whispers, "No. It can't be beat." And she looks over at Øka with their wings still unfurled, right? And this is the most scared you've seen Manaia's face. Like, she was scared last time, but you couldn't really see her face. It's an expression that you've never seen before. Her eyes are like sunken in. Her jaw is limp. And she just shakes her head up at Øka and starts stepping back towards the edge of the arena.
I think Øka like glances over. They like kind of whirl. They like step into the air again as the thing's head comes out, and they like whirl a little bit, kind of like, you know, flying in place for a moment, trying to like get out of the way. And they look at Manaia just to check, you know, and then they look back because that is not the expression that they recognize. And they also are paused for a moment, watching Manaia back away. Is going to drop to the ground, kind of right next to it, and like still being wary. As fast as they can, they try to grab the axe, which I think is still maybe like in the creature's neck.
Yeah, Manaya's dropped the axe.
Oh yeah. You're gonna like grab it, pick it up, and like they're going from Manaia, it's too heavy for them. They can't fucking pick it up, so they're dragging it in the dirt behind them. Like, no, again. I need you.
It can't be beat.
It can. We just have to figure out how. Not that way, another way. Again.
Okay, those men are dead.
You live, you die. Sometimes you live again. Take it. I have your back, you have mine. Let's go.
Okay. She takes the axe.
Øka nods and takes off into the air from right in front of Manaia.
Okay. After you take off into the air, this drow woman who's still lassoing this thing glances over at you, Manaia, sort of looks you up and down and says, "You good?"
She nods shakily.
Look, I don't blame you, kid. This thing isn't from here. Anyone can see that. The fact that they're here cheering for this, and she gestures at the dead men, is fucking disgusting to me. I have a feeling you don't belong here, kid. It's okay, I got your back. And she yanks on it, Øka, as you fly toward this thing.
I guess we could end the session there.
We could end the session there. Does it feel good to everyone? Cinematic?
I want to know what happens, so I guess we'll find out next week.
Yes, give me some time to plan, goddammit. Okay, yeah, next week is going to be episode 11. That is Saturday, November 7th. November 7th.
It is.
Yep. Saturday, November 7th. I'm going to write that down. I don't know why I'm writing that down.
Holy mother.
At 3 p.m. Central, right here, Transplanar RPG. Thank you all so much for tuning in for episode 10. This is a 12-hour marathon stream, though, so we'll be going for at least another 6 hours. I'm hoping for us to reach halfway of our donation goal by the halfway point. So it would be amazing if we could get that $50, $250 by 6 p.m. That would be incredible. Tell your friends about us if you don't have the money to contribute. Boost us on your Instagram, your Twitter, whatever. That really, really does help tune in. Next, we have an hour of about 40 minutes of more interviews with our promo partners. And after that, we have another a listening party to the podcast, the horror podcast that I wrote. Wow, thank you so much for the anonymous gift sub. Incredible. Those who have candy, eat a piece of candy. We need to retroactively eat a lot of candy for all the donos and subs that have occurred up until this point. If y'all are actually feeling sick, though, don't.
I've been eating them as I go.
Good. I've been chewing at the Snickers as well. After our podcast Q&A, during which point the viewers, y'all can ask questions about the podcast, about the process of creating it. Thank you again for another gift sub, Max Morkson. You're so generous. We really appreciate it. After the podcast Q&A is our video gaming night. Me and Øka are going to play Phasmophobia. Me, Devin, Max, and Ben from Tigers are going to play Overwatch. And then we have a jam session with me and Devin at 8:30. And finally, we have our sleepover party games from 9 until 11, and from 11 to 12 is our Discord dance party. So if you're not already in our Discord, come join our Discord. Is there anything I missed?
Not that I can think of.
Great, wonderful. Then with that,
We love y'all.
Yeah, we love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna roll.
We lived.
We lived, bitch, for now. I'm gonna tune us into our promo reel part 2. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back.